Well, welcome back everyone to Geekigai, where we all learn how to speak geek. Alright, so today I'm your host, Bowie, and I've been tasked with Casey to hit
Again.
today's
Okay.
topic. Since I'm the beginner, Casey gave me an easy topic. Today we're going to talk about recommending anime to beginners. Okay, so I thought we could talk about our first experiences at anime. At first I wanted to talk about here are some reasons why you should watch anime, but I thought that was too dull. I thought we could share how we even started. So I'll go first then.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, that's true. We haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
Okay. Actually,
I think you need
not
that.
exactly started on anime for me. I actually started on manga.
Oh.
Then it's like a gateway drug. It got me to anime.
You
Alright,
suddenly whispered.
because we're talking about drugs. Okay, anyway.
What? Drunk or what?
drugs. Gateway drug. Gateway
It's
drunk.
It's not that serious, okay?
Not that, yeah.
Okay, so I first started watching, reading manga when I was in secondary school. I was 15 years old. For some reason, our school has the genius idea of forcing all of us to buy laptops for school.
What laptops?
What genius idea? But
what
that's what's
kind of
happening
schools
now.
are
Genius
you in?
ideas.
Yeah, I don't have
ACSI.
laptops.
But that's happening right now.
Oh yeah, but back
The school was more advanced in this age, right?
yeah, the school was
Oh,
one of our
okay,
age.
okay.
Okay, here's the thing. The school wanted us to use it for work purposes.
Okay.
And yeah, no shit. Obviously, we all used it for playing games and reading comics
at the
during
age of
class.
15.
So I don't know what the teachers were thinking. And
They
this
weren't
is
thinking that
how
much.
I was recommended by my friends to start reading Naruto first, then Bleach. And then turns out people do animate them in drawings. And that's how I started watching them through anime. Yeah. And that's how I got started. Kind of weird watching anime for the first time, because before that, my exposure to cartoons are Western cartoons. And let's be honest, when it comes to the Japanese cartoons, they do put in like way more effort.
Yes, definitely.
And what do you call it? The 60 FPS, the smoothness
Yes.
in all the actions. Like, wow, this is an upgrade. Yeah, so that's how I got hooked on the anime. How about you, Lena?
Okay, for myself,
Love in Deep Space.
no, of course not. That's advanced. I was exposed first to, I think similar to you, to manga first, back when I was in secondary school. But back then, most of my friends were into Pokemon. Yeah, and everybody was talking about Pikachu and Mewtwo and everything and how cool it was.
Oh.
And,
The worst Pokemon is Pikachu.
How
Step
dare
into
you.
here. Shh, don't let me hear that.
Pokemon Pikachu hate line.
Yeah, and but because okay, I'm kind of like an anti kind of like trend person. So because everybody's talking about it, I decided no, I'm not going to read about this because everybody's talking about it.
Okay, I can get it. I get it.
Yeah, so I grew up without watching anime at all the way until about 10 years ago. That was in 2014, and when my son, who is now my age, no, not back then, he's now what? At the time he was what, 10 years old, 11 years old,
Okay.
P5, and everybody was talking about Pokemon. I was like, wow, 20 years later and 24 years later, and it is still Pokemon. And I was like, what is this magic about this thing, So we decided that, and he was really into it, and he was like, Mom, can you buy me all the TCG cards? Can you buy me the toys? Can you buy me the comics? And let's watch the Pokemon anime together. Can we play Pokemon games together? I was like, okay, as every good mother would do.
Wow, so cute, so cute.
I would support you in your hobbies as long as you study as well. So anyway, then so that's when we started this whole hunt for everything Pokemon. I spent a lot of hours and time with him, and then we decided that, hey, you know what, let's go to Japan, because in Japan the Pokemon centers,
That's right.
that's where you can buy the toys way cheaper than in Singapore. So we went to Japan, we went to Akihabara, and when I went there I was like, you mean there's more than Pokemon? Yeah, and there's this whole new world of anime there. I was like, oh, there's so many. And there's like all the handsome men,
Yeah.
Ikemen,
Uh-huh.
tall, white
what?
hair. Yeah. and
Finance
then-
bro.
Yes, and that's when I developed my love for anime. Yeah. and started watching. In terms of my very first anime that I watched, it would be this one called Hakuoki, which I will talk more about it later as well.
Okay.
But anyway, that was my first one.
Alright, so let me just summarize. Your first impression of anime was through Pokemon.
Yes.
Because it was so popular, you were anti-trend and it kind of got you
decided.
to not watch it for a long time. But
Yes.
through your mother's love, you were introduced to anime.
Through my mother's
and then later introduced to handsome men.
Yes! That's the story of my life.
How moving. Alright, Nick, how about you? How's your exposure to anime like?
Sheldon was thinking of words to like say like, oh, okay, moving.
How moving. Yeah, that's very apt.
The mother's love, you know.
It's the mother's love that got her into anime. This is a moving story.
Yes.
Last part not so important.
One day I will tell you my story. It's very moving, yes. There's a lot more to it.
Okay, sure.
Alright, Nick, what's your story?
How was mine? Because I grew up watching anime, because they always showed it on like cable TV. Or like even just on regular TV.
Animax?
So, not Animax, but like...
Art Central?
Octo, is it?
Yeah, Octo, Kid Central.
Yes, okay.
So they show it like after school, like 4 or 5 p.m. So I grew up watching a lot of different shows like Digimon, Rockman. So yeah, so it was quite fun. And that's how
Rockman
I
Battle
got into
Network?
Was there
it.
Rock?
Cartoon Network?
Rockman Battle Network?
Yeah, Rockman Battle Network. Yeah, Rockman like EX.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, but I didn't finish that show. Oh gosh. Okay,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah.
okay, but I
I'll
feel
play
like
the game.
they kind of sped through anyways.
Yeah, they kind of
But yeah, so that's like one of my key points growing up. Because it was also so cool. Then like you see people fighting, and then the team sound is quite upbeat. Some of the episodes were a bit dark, but some of the episodes were also a bit fun as well. So it was a good mix, and yeah, that's just what got me into the whole thing. Well, what about you, Casey?
the most normal story so far. Alright, Casey, what's yours?
Mine was actually I watch it from Art Central. I don't watch anime on like the daytime. I watch the midnight ones.
Wow, after 11 p.m. on the TV.
Well, I think it was
Midnight ones.
probably
Interesting.
5 when I was watching it.
Why were you watching anime at midnight at primary 5?
No, I mean, the anime that I
Turn
got,
out.
yeah, that
There's a reason.
yeah. The one I got really hooked on was D Grey Man.
Really for-
Yeah,
You stayed on watch D Grey Man.
yeah. It was so good. I like the British setting of that entire show. It's like it's dark and it's like gloomy, and there's like there's like Akumas inside the shows, and then there's like like the innocents. And like, wow, they are just hacking slash. It's so cool back in the day. Yeah, but then you just wait until midnight to watch it, and then I was like so tilted that it's only like 20 minutes per episode. Yeah, but
So
that
it was a
my-
premise that captured your attention.
yeah. But then I mean I started watching like about episode 30 plus. Then after that I have to rewind. Then I was like going back to watch all the previous episodes that I kind of like missed out. Yeah, it was such a great show. Yeah, if you guys want to watch it, I think you should watch it. The manga is still continuing till now. Yeah,
D.
but
Grey
yes,
Man.
D Grey Man, yes,
Still running.
still running. But it's
damn.
on a slower pace, so it's like it's good to watch like twice a year. Yeah,
How
like
many episodes so far?
they don't have a TV like they are not on TV, they are more like on manga itself.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But there's an anime adaptation.
Yes, but it was one of the animes that got me into like full-time anime-ish. Yeah. So it was really good.
okay.
Yeah. After I watched Naruto after that. Usually it's like people watch Naruto, then they watch like the other animes. I'm like D Grey Man first, then other Naruto, like after that others.
So same as me, like you started off with this anime, then it introduced you to more
Yes.
different other anime.
Correct.
While Nicholas had like a very healthy diet of different anime mixed together at the same time.
Yeah, so I had a healthy diet of different
You
anime.
like your vegetables, you need to eat your greens, your purples, your reds. A good variety sets up for
Actually, I was
a very
quite
balanced
quite
person.
surprised when Nick said that he watched like the daytime
Yeah,
animations.
because unlike you, my bedtime was like 9 p.m. So I actually had to go to sleep. I didn't get a chance. Like my parents didn't let me stay up all the way until 11 and watch like D Grey Man.
But yeah, I do remember those animes. I think they were having Dragon Ball and stuff like that. But the issue is that the episodes are all over the place.
Oh yes.
Yeah, if you guys remember, like
It was not in order.
it's not in order, completely out of order at all. So they will show like, oh, today episode 100. Maybe I don't know. It's like maybe episode 100 today. Then never mind. I think I just keep to like 120. It's like, you don't even know what the hell is happening between
it
the
changes a
episodes.
lot.
Yeah,
But last time when you were watching anime on Kid Central, they were English dub, right?
yeah, which
Yeah.
is
Because it wasn't Japanese with English
Yeah.
subtitles, right? Yeah, okay, I remember.
No, okay.
Suddenly I'm beginning to remember flashbacks of my
Oh,
childhood.
those are so okay. Some of it is not so good, I would say. Yeah, last time I watched it, I think it's nice, but no, it's like, oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah, and also a special Singapore dub as well. I think some
There
of the
was?
shows. Yeah.
But special Singaporean dub means what?
As in like they were dubbed by Singaporeans. Not like they like the characters have like Singaporean accents, but like you can tell like it's not the American voice.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember. Now that you tell me, I do have some recollections of
yeah,
those
that's how they used to
memories.
do it back then as well.
Yeah, and this is why I never watched cable TV ever since then.
I have no memory of it, and I'm glad I have no memory of it.
It's not that bad.
not bad. It's- honestly, it's not
not
that
bad, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the same
Yeah.
as watching anime in English.
We
Yeah.
want something very specific.
Okay, again, I mean, dubs have improved over the years, really. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying now dubs are way better. I still can watch it. Yes, last time it's like, yeah, it's good, but it's good last time if you are young and you haven't exposed to much media. After you're exposed to so much media, it's like, Japanese people don't speak like that. Yeah,
Okay, the weirdest thing for me, by getting a bit sidetracked, is I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z dubbed, where Goku was voiced by a very strong adult male voice. And then you watch the sub version of Dragon Ball Z where Goku sounds like a kid for some reason.
It's like, huh?
Like what?
I gotta admit, like Goku does have a lot of like, he's big, so I think the way that they thought about going about it was like, I should just find someone that's like big and buff, has a very masculine voice to actually do the dubbing for the show instead. Yeah.
By the way, since we're talking about our first experiences of anime, did you remember the first time when anime started gaining traction? But back then, all the dubbed anime had their own dubbed theme songs.
They did.
Sailor Moon had an English theme song.
Oh, I didn't know.
Dragon
yeah,
Ball
that's
Z had their English version of their theme song. Like, it's different from the Japanese theme song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Wow.
It's not a thing anymore, which is kind of sad.
But Pokemon theme song has always been, I wanna be the very best.
That's the only one that is.
That is in English.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a Japanese version.
Is it? Does it?
But
have
the
exact
English
same-
one is so catchy that we all know it.
You know they have European versions as well.
Really?
of the
Actually, I
Pokemon
love the
theme songs.
Japanese version. I got
Yeah.
back then when DVDs was available. I think there was two versions, like available in the market itself. I don't know whether you guys remember those kind of $2 DVDs or or the very cheap ones. Yeah, they were
Okay.
selling those kind of Japanese dubs one. Yeah, the theme song for Japanese ones is great, man.
It's true. I
Yeah.
am a total supporter. I actually still have it in my playlist.
Okay. But the Pokemon Japanese theme one.
Yeah.
The
they're
original
actually
one.
pretty good.
Yes,
Okay, I need to
correct.
go and listen to that.
Fire.
Okay, this was not actually part of my script, but I feel the need to add one more question to our topic now. Before we start recommending anime, we must talk about dubs or subs.
Oh,
Would you guys prefer to watch your anime with subtitles or English voice actors?
Definitely
Very
subs.
important before we start watching anime.
For me, it's definitely subs.
Subs for me too,
The
because
subtitles.
Actually, I think with now, right, with the introduction of Japanese adapting other forms of media like solo leveling, right? For me, it's a very hard question to
Oh,
answer.
that is true.
Correct, because the fact is that like solo leveling, Jinwoo's they was
yeah.
like, the Japanese will call it Jinwoo-san, but then right, I feel that nobody in like Korea will call san. So it makes no sense. So that's why I say in this kind of situations, I think dub is better.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't say Jinwo-san. What's Jinwo-san? Yeah, they will probably just like say like she or something like Jinwo-shi. Yeah, something like that. So that in that aspect, I would say that I cannot give a definite answer because it really depends on the medium itself.
okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
I think that's true also because I watch quite a few Chinese anime as well. Like 魔道祖师, for example, and you don't want to hear it in any other language other than Chinese.
God, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So you prefer your handsome man speaking Chinese?
No, if I understand the language, I will listen to them in that language. yeah, but I mean, aligned with the background, the cultural background, because it's
I
like you're
see.
looking at some Chinese building with the forbidden forbidden castle behind and stuff, palace behind, and you don't want speaking Japanese kind of thing. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. For me, it's kind of tough because like I generally watch subs most of the time, but there are a few exceptions to my dubs animes that like I truly enjoyed, and which I will share. One of them, which I will share later as my anime recommendation. I don't think any of y'all have seen it, so I'm quite excited about that actually.
Okay,
okay.
we'll talk about it later. For me, generally, I just prefer subs because I believe when the studios are drawing the anime in mind, they're probably imagining, what's it called? Visualizing the characters speaking in Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of worried that if we switch to dub, some of that
Oh, the
feelings,
mouth-
however,
the mouth
might
syncing.
not mouth syncing, but expressions in their voice.
Right.
Some might be lost in translation. That's about it. Okay, now that my random question got answered, it's my show. Okay, we're getting to the meat of the episode. Each of us are going to recommend either 1 or 5 anime, depending on how much you want to talk. Okay, but before we started this episode, I kind of gave everybody a loose guideline to follow. Since this is an episode to recommend beginners to start watching anime, we decided to recommend animes that people can easily follow, something toned down. Okay, here's the rules I've written for what anime we recommend. Okay, so firstly, we do not recommend animes with like 1 billion episodes. If you first started anime, so after watching anime, I think that'll be too daunting. Dragon Ball Z is a bit too much. We should not recommend One Piece to newcomers because I think that would discourage anybody immediately. Point number 2, toned down fan service. Okay, many people get turned off by extreme fan service, so we're going to recommend some anime which is quite normal for newcomers. We'll hit them with the other stuff later down the road. Okay, last one, quite important. We would like to recommend anime that we can access quite easily. Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube. For some reason, there are some YouTube channels that can legally air full seasons of.
That's true.
That's true.
So we here at Geekigai, we do everything by the book. We do not pirate. We do not do anything illegal. So yes, this is why we're following this rule. Something accessible, something we can easily follow. So there it is.
I
Okay.
love being a pirate.
No, we don't pirate. No, that's not us. That's someone else. Some off-brand Geekigai group.
Start, Lina, start first.
Me again?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just unfortunately
actually,
sitting on my left.
Your last criteria kind of threw me off. Because I was just going to recommend a title.
Okay, we will loosely follow the rules.
Okay.
Loosely.
Okay. Maybe I'll just start with okay, because for myself, most of the anime I watch and love to watch are related to romance. There's always a romance theme within, because I believe my friends here are going to recommend something that's shonen theme and stuff, so we should not repeat ourselves. So I will talk about more romance genres, and that was also the main reason why I got into anime in the first place. So the very first anime that I watched, and I thought that it would be a good introductory type of anime, is this title called Hakuoki, and it's actually based off an otome game. Yeah, so an otome game is basically a light novel game that dating simulation type of game lah, with many handsome men, and that you can choose to pursue. But anyway, when I was very surprised to find out that there is actually a anime adaptation of that game, so I went to watch it thinking that it would be another romance anime, but it turned out to be totally different, because that entire I think it's about 2 seasons of anime really went into talking about the history of the last samurai, the last band of samurai called the Shinsengumi, who tried to stand up for their beliefs on the samurai way before the Meiji Restoration came in. So there was a lot of historical context within talking about what leadership meant, what it meant to be a real man, and what the political winds are, how it's changing the world and stuff like that. And I mean, it's not a heavy topic. It's just very nice to watch because you really see about how the emotional struggles between all of them, between all the different captains of this Shinsengumi group, and the sacrifices they make for their country or what they believe in. Yeah, and it helps the men are really good looking. So if you are into ikemen, this is a very good watch. At the same time, you get to understand a bit about Japanese history as well. So that's one. Then another.
Wait, so before we go on, the reason why you're recommending this anime is because you feel it's the characters.
Yes. I mean, if let's
besides
say,
their good looks, also their spirits and their sacrifice that sells the
correct.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a good way of. Okay, I would say it's a bit. If you think that anime is all for kids, then this is one of those options that tell you that it's not a kid friend. It's kids friendly if you want to watch, but it just.
It's good for mature adults.
Yes, it's good for mature adults. And I tell you, I have watched this show 3 times, and I have cried all 3 times. Yeah, it's just.
It's moving. All right.
It's moving. Yes, it's very moving.
The sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Yeah, and you think about how some of them kind of like like friends. They agree to go in a certain direction, but along the way they have different views. Then they break off, but later on at the end, the story diverges to show that how even as a friend who have like gone a different way would come back and defend you. I mean, it's just very moving. I won't spoil the story for you. So that would be one story,
Okay.
one recommendation. And if you're looking for more light-hearted romance and recommendations, I would suggest my second anime that I watched was Ouran High School. Yeah, and it's a very comedic. Yeah, it's a very interesting introduction to the reverse harem genre, where it's basically many guys trying to pursue, or many love interests many male love interests with one female main cast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's nothing really spicy, because for Ouran High School, the most of the romance is just very comedic and it's very light-hearted. So it's just very funny lor. It's a great way to watch, but the animation can be very old school. Yeah, so if you would like to see how animation has grown over the years, Ouran High School is an introduction, like a kickback to how it was like maybe 25 years ago. And then you look at it, then something a bit modern today, and you're like, whoa, this is how far it has gone. My third recommendation, since we have 5, and my last one anyway, I would suggest would be this one called Kami-sama Kiss. Unfortunately, it's a series that is not readily and easily available, and it's really one of my favorite romance anime of all times. Yeah, it's and one of the reasons why I like it so much, other than the good-looking guy, is because it explores into the Japanese.
It's something to do with the catchphrase. I didn't want to mention it's like
Keyword is the guy.
besides
Sure,
the good-looking
good-looking
guy.
guy.
It's
Sure.
because
It's telling you that characters are very important.
we all have our tastes.
See, even this girl, Kana just
Yeah,
fell
she's
down.
so shocked,
Yeah, she
like-
was shocked about it.
You need to like the characters in an anime in order to continue watching it. That's
Fair
facts.
enough. We
That's
like
facts.
handsome people in movies.
Really?
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, it's probably good-looking ladies. I mean, pretty ladies as well.
Did you just judge us?
Tell me it's not true.
This is gonna make my recommendation.
Actually, it's just
so
both. That one
stupid
is
now.
both, man. If I don't like the guy, I don't like the girl, I'm not gonna watch the
Yeah,
show.
same lah,
Yeah,
it's the
fair
same
enough,
thing,
fair
yeah. So, but one other thing about Kami-sama Kiss is that it explores into Japanese folklore, so which is also the basis of actually a lot of animes that you watch in that is Japanese anime, because they will talk about the Izu shrine and how all the deities from there come from there, and then they have different roles to play, and then you will like be introduced to the different yaokais, different types of yaokais in this. Like you have the fox kitsune, you have your tengu crow, you have your don't know snake demon or
And
whatever.
these are all personified as handsome men.
Yes! I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, but it's just the folklore behind it. And then once you watch one, you would realize that, because the folklore is folklore ma, right? No matter which other anime you watch subsequently, you've already been introduced to these stories behind these characters and what these characters are meant to look like. And then when you watch another one, then you're like, oh yeah, the other anime also features them like that. So you already have
They kind of overlap because it's based on history.
yes,
Okay.
not folklore, not history.
Mythology.
Mythology, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, those will be my recommendations, all falling under categories of reverse harem or romance.
All right. Nick, how about you?
Oof. I only have one anime to recommend just to keep things simple. It's this anime called Ghost Stories, and I recommend the dubbed version instead of the sub version. Now this might be very shocking. Why would I recommend a dubbed anime? It's because it's hilarious. It is so funny. So like if you're watching anime for the first time, you're gonna be like rolling all over the floor laughing. Let me explain why. So Ghost Stories originally in Japan started out as a very serious, like some kind of supernatural kids anime where it's like a weekly episode every day, every week the kids face a new ghost, then they have to go hunt after it. But then because of how it bombed in Japan, it did so badly. So when it came to the US, they asked the guys to like, okay, you guys just do whatever you want.
Oh, God.
And probably when the Japanese said that, they probably thinking, oh, okay, can just voice it however you want. But the American voice actors took it in an entirely new direction, so they went to improv like everything. So for example, in the sub anime, maybe one scene might be like, and then like in the dub version, you're gonna go like, hey, put down the
Hey, put the donuts down! Drop the Krispy Kreme, Serpent Coat! We need your help
My
here!
house look like my father and my brother after 9 months or
Yeah, diggity.
And then all the characters have changed. So like, for example, there's like this one quiet girl. She's very timid, like very cutesy in the original anime. And then like, in the dub, she becomes like some kind of born again Christian. So halfway through like the dialogue, she's always like bringing up,
You're such brave, strong, handsome men. Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
No, I'm Jewish.
the brothers like in the anime is portrayed as like a little cute.
カヤのおかげで助かったよ。
Then in the dub, he's like portrayed like a complete idiot. But it's so whack and like comedic from any point of view culturally. You just roll over the floor laughing.
So did you watch both the Japanese and the English dub?
I did.
Oh.
And I agreed. I felt like the Japanese one really wasn't that good. So that's why I said earlier I don't mind watching dub because sometimes dub changes a lot. And in the case of Ghost Stories, it shows. It's like great masterpiece of improv work.
I like how yours is like the sub versus dub. Yours is more like the dub is way better.
It's
because
so
the fact that-
unhinged.
Yes, unhinged.
Okay.
Because they totally changed the whole characters, all the characters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like there's one scene where apparently like this girl was getting hunted by like some demon rabbit. So it seems like like likely case you've seen a Japanese anime, but then the Western version, the American dub, it made it seem like they had like some kind of illicit relationship with each other. Yeah, and then there's this huge climax scene to the end where they're like sealing the demon rabbit away, and then she's having this whole dramatic dialogue,
Shirotabi, please forgive me for bringing you back to life. I know now that it could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
The hook of your recommendation is that this show called Ghost Stories was a failed product, but it was given to a group of comedians,
In a
and
way,
they
yeah.
decided to run with it.
Yeah, I mean like quite comedic, so it's quite lighthearted and like it's not a typical anime. So I think.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Like all you have to do is like pass something to someone and says, "You're a comedian, right? Have fun." That's what happened in Ghost Stories, is it?
Pretty much, yeah.
They gave the rights to the studio.
Yeah, they just said have at it. So you have all sorts of wacky plot points.
Okay, I need to give this a go.
Wow.
You're just so
I don't know what to say, man. I was like, shit, man. This is the first time I heard that dub is actually good, and also it's way better. Yeah, I should start watching.
This is
that.
basically a compile, right?
something like that. Yeah, so you can watch it online. I think they have all the episodes there as well.
Alright.
I like how you guys are like so different because when I was like thinking about it, it's like which any recommendation I would recommend, because I was thinking alright, so if let's say I were to recommend something, it has to be good, the story has to be nice, at the same time it does leave a lasting impact. Then you guys is like Ikiman, then after that mythology, then this is like dub versus sub. That's my recommendation is really really like I don't know, becomes very serious all of a sudden. Yeah, because the five that I would recommend is Your Lie in April,
Yeah.
Aohana.
Oh, okay.
Then after that, I would recommend Parasite.
Paris. Oh, like the anime
Yes,
Parasite.
correct. Since the fact that there's a live action nowadays,
Yes.
and it
Oh,
connects to the Korean live action. So
That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
Then after that, I will recommend Demon Slayer also at the same time. Because I mean, this anime, I feel that makes a really really huge impact, and it's like at the same time doesn't it strays away from the norms that anime is actually for kids. And last one is actually K-On!
Oh.
Wait, you're not going to talk about your...
Fiora is good. Yeah, she's a waifu definitely. But then I feel that compared to the animes I mentioned, but like Fiora is not as good as Your Lie in April.
I was quite confident you were going to recommend Firen for beginners.
Yeah, the newer ones I would say for Fiora is definitely good, but I think that Your Lie in April takes the cake, man.
Okay.
You don't have an anime where for every year every fans were like during April they will watch Your Lie in April. It's that good. Yeah, it's like every year ever since it ended, every April everyone's like, oh, there is the lie that Kaoru said. There's like, oh gosh, the scene, the ending scene. Okay,
Okay, break it
Those
down for
no
us.
spoilers,
What
but-
is this anime you're talking about?
Okay, so basically, it's this guy. His name is Kosei. He has been like genius in playing the piano for like he's he's just very good at it since a young age. And then after his mom passed away, then he got some trauma to play the piano, so he stopped. Then after that, there's this girl that comes to life that makes him play the piano again. Yeah, but however, she's also hiding a secret, and she's also the fact that she's like not that she also told him a lie also. I don't want to spoil you guys what it is, but you watch it, you will know. But I can quite sure that,
Mysterious.
you know, after you watch it, every April will be very sad for you.
Oh my gosh.
goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it
a
looks like I'm gonna have to find out now.
yes.
Have you watched it?
Okay, so is
have.
this a romance slash
It's a
the sad kind of anime?
romance
Moving.
musical, comedy, and also sad, a bit sad also.
What's the hook for you to watch this?
Oh, actually, at the same time, right? It's good cause the fact that you appreciate like Mozart and Chopin, the musical scores a bit better. Yeah, so it's really really good how they actually incorporate into the story. Yeah, and it also makes sense also. If you like read in between the lines, like, you know, there's actually a flaw on how the story is like. Aohana is another one, cause a lot of people after years people still talk about Aohana because it's so
true,
memorable.
yeah.
Like it's about a group of friends. Then one of the girls died. Then after that, you know, because of she dying, it affected the friendship, the circle around it. The main character became a recluse, and then everyone just wanted to move on with their life, but they kind of like get sucked back. Like in a way that after years later, I think the main character called Jintan, he saw the ghost of the girl who died, and then after that, like, you know, he's got kind of like in a way haunted by the past. So he kind of like, you know, get the group back together and stuff. So it's like very very wholesome. Like it's like it's like been like 10 plus years and people still talk about it to this day.
It's true. It's quite a memorable anime.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an anime which is quite, I'll say, realistic when it comes to dealing with how
Yeah,
people
a
deal with
lot
loss.
of human emotions to it. Yes.
And
yeah.
it sounds like you're also talking about this. There's a huge section showing, how do I phrase this? It also shows how people recover or rise
Yes.
up to such
Correct.
tough situations.
Yes. I mean, it's the best for people who wants to start anime and thinks that anime is for kids. This is definitely okay. It's for kids also. At the same time, I think the message is quite different. Also, I'd say, yeah, it's like it's deep, and also at the same time, it invokes feelings. So that's why, like, you know, I would say I would recommend these two anime. If let's say you are someone,
Someone will want something moving.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Then Degree Man is also a fact that I think I would recommend, although it's like 100 plus episodes, 120 max. Yeah.
All right.
But it's not.
breaking one of my
It
rules
hasn't
already.
ended yet. But
But
I will
please.
recommend due to the fact that it does have a very very good setting. Like, you know, when you first you enter the like how to say the first episode, it's like the settings is done very beautifully in terms of like the old, like, you know, 60s. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, it's done very very beautifully, and at the same time, right, you know, the setup was also very nice. Also, the action scenes are really really good, insanely good, and the story, in a way, is that, you know, in terms of the protagonist, alright, it's like you think, okay, so he's basically on the good side, but however, right, you know, later on in the story you realize that he's actually kind of like in the middle of, like, you know, the evil and the good side. But then you also later you realize that, you know, the good side is actually not so good also at the same time. The evil side might be also, like, you know,
That's
doing
why
good.
he's called the grey man.
Yep.
Because he's both black and white.
Sort of,
so much sense now.
yeah, makes some sense.
The grey
I was
man.
like, I was like a bit lost for a second. I was like,
So is this an action anime where
It's
a
a
lot of the
action
situation
anime.
is like not black and white?
A lot of situation is not black and white. Yeah, there's a few characters that really cross over. So it's like, you know, you realize that the main characters, his sensei, his name is General Cross. Is actually working with, like, you know, the evil side, which is, like, you know, to, like, kind of like do something with it. Until now, we still have no idea what is it. Like, the story is still ongoing, but due to the fact that the author keeps, like, you know, breaking her fingers and, like, due to health issues and stuff like that, not breaking her fingers, but due to health issues, she wasn't able to actually do it on a, like, you know, constant basis, like every week or every month have one serial. So the serial is quite bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's still continuing till now. But however, I think it was good because of the fact that it's a bit different compared to the other animes by itself. Yeah. Parasite, I think, also good also, although it has a definite start, definite end.
Okay.
And also, like, human psychology is also all over the place. Like, you know, it's about this guy who's got infected by a parasite, and then after that, right, it's like there's a parasite living in his body together with him at the same time. So they both had to survive together.
Okay, so the
to save
parasite is
themselves.
sentient, is that correct? Yes, his
Yes,
own thoughts.
correct.
Okay.
So he's like fighting against the humans that wants to kill the parasite, and also at the same time the parasite that want to kill the humans. So he's kind of like in between of both sides also at the same time. Yeah. And, like, you know, as later on to the story, the parasite becomes more human, and then the human become more parasitic in nature. So it's like there's a good contrast between the two, like you
Okay.
know, two
That's pretty
races.
cool.
Yeah,
Is this an action or is it more psychology thriller?
both.
Kind of?
It's both.
Both.
Yes, both.
Okay, then
Yeah.
on both.
Yeah, but it has a really good ending, and I think the Korean drama did it even better also at the same time. Like it did as
Did
well
you say
as
Korean drama?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made it into a Korean drama.
they made it in a
Oh,
Korean
shit.
drama. Yeah, which the main character appears as I look at it as I saw you in so many movies already. No, you're here again. Yeah. But yes, so yeah, it's good because I think because the fact that it's a masterpiece, and then the Korean drama was also very good also. So yeah, can watch it.
Okay.
And then K-On is just like I think it's good also like to people to appreciate like music in general, and also like you know seeing the camaraderie between like four girls trying to form a band and like you know making music by itself, and also the soundtrack.
Another
is
musical anime.
not really musical,
Yeah,
but it's
Korean
more like
is
it's
more
a
idol, right?
yeah, more idol. But then however, I like
Ah.
to see like you know a group of like people trying to create something.
Yeah, I feel like Keon's the more iconic one though.
Yeah, the songs are great.
Yeah.
Soundtracks are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. The other day I was singing it like during a karaoke session. With my
There's
friends.
also my like you know my
That's right,
K-On
Keon-
figures.
Keon's in there,
That's
yeah.
Keon, yes.
I pointed out the last which one?
Yeah, Azusa and Yui. Yeah. But I wanted to collect the full collection, but cannot. I was I was too broke back in the day.
How much was one?
$30, $40 ish.
Okay,
Back in the
At
day.
least are still
Yeah.
attainable.
It's attainable, but not attainable now. I can't find it
Now
anywhere
you now
else.
cannot buy the whole
Yeah,
series.
correct. Yeah, but yes, those are the 5 animes that I would recommend. I think like you know, shows a different side of like anime in general, and at the same time, brings a fresh perspective of how anime is. Yeah, especially Your Lie in April. Never go wrong one. I have a lot of success stories when it comes to Your Lie in April. People watch it, it's like shit, man. Every April, right? He was like, she will go like my friends will go watch it again.
He got the empirical evidence to prove it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I would say that it's so good to the point that you know people will rewatch it because it's sad, and also at the same time it's moving. Yeah, and you
You know,
appreciate
this sounds like how
music.
people are religious to watch the Titanic.
Yeah, but
Something's very
actually, I haven't
similar.
watched Your Lie in April. A lot of people talk about it, but I haven't watched it yet because
Time to watch Your Lie in
Yeah.
April, you know.
should I
Yeah.
go watch
Alright,
it in
but
April?
Your Lie in April endorsed by 2 of our members. Everybody go watch it.
Definitely watch it. I think it's damn good.
Yeah, because the thing is, when it comes to anime, because there's so many animes out there, I think many of the animes are now more niche. Like there's an anime for everybody, for who has a specific taste. So how do you find one that appeals to many people, but at the same time it's easy to get into? That's the tough part. At first I was thinking Attack on Titan, because it was very weird. One day a few years ago when Attack on Titan came out, one of my colleagues talked to me, "Hey, have you watched Attack on Titan?" I was looking at him like, "What?" Because he doesn't watch anime. I was like, what just came out of your mouth?
Attack on Titan
Because it was
is-
kind of weird to watch a bunch of normal people suddenly saying, "Watch, hey, Attack on Titan is great." I was like, "How do you even know about it?"
Is he referring
Yeah, but
to the anime version or the live drama?
like anime version.
Okay.
When it first came out, for some reason a lot of people knew about it. Okay, but I think that's a bit too
Attack on Titan is not
Complicated.
suitable for like you know
for
man.
beginners.
Yeah.
But for
Really?
some
I
reason,
think it's okay though. I think it's quite prolific.
okay,
anime,
I
but
think
that's-
many people had tasted Game of Thrones,
Right.
and then these people with the Game of Thrones taste enjoyed.
That's true. That's
Attack
true. I
on
think
Titan.
yes,
Okay,
correct.
And there is a
Makes sense.
large amount of people who love Game of Thrones before it bombed. Okay, so
Okay.
Spy X Family. I was thinking I could talk about Spy X Family, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so but I did watch. Help me out, guys. I don't know how to pronounce it. Apothecary Diaries.
Apothecary Diaries.
Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
Apothecary
I haven't watched
Diaries.
that yet.
Okay,
Diaries.
my-
I've watched it.
My recommendation would be Apothecary Diaries. Okay, so this anime is about a girl named Mao Mao, who is a very talented apothecary, large knowledge of herbs and poisons, living in ancient China, and she has been unwillingly recruited into the imperial palace to at first just be a maid girl, I think, but because of her skills she later started solving mysteries around the palace. Okay, the reason why I would recommend this anime for beginners is because okay, so firstly, I feel that the main character is very, very likable. Not your typical anime protagonist. Mao Mao is someone who is, I would say, quiet, but not what's the opposite of low confidence? She's somebody who's quiet, but she has enough confidence to, I don't know, I think she could take control of the room if she wants to. She is smart enough to solve most of the mysteries held in the castle, but at the same time the anime is very well paced, so you'll be solving the mystery slowly with her. Don't worry about getting lost. You watched it too, right?
Yes, I've watched it. I watched it because of the romance actually, and I stayed on because I found the male character very...
Handsome.
No. He is...
What?
I mean, I've seen better, but I found him very charming.
Charming? Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
seen better,
I
she
found
says.
I found his personality very charming because while he tries to pretend to be some goofy guy who is trying to get Mao Mao's attention, his backstory is actually quite sad, and he actually is trying very hard to keep the peace without too much spoilers. He's trying hard to keep the peace within his the Imperial Palace. Yeah, so he there is something that is very serious about him, but he doesn't show this because it's supposed to be some secret identity and stuff.
Okay.
So that makes him really very charming for me. Yeah. And I will watch it for him. I get a bit irritated by Mao Mao, to be honest. Some don't kill me.
Some
please.
people did say that.
Yeah, because she's everything that that Sheldon mentioned. She's very smart. She's a bit aloof. She's crazy about her poisons. But sometimes I just feel that she rejects the help from the Jingshi too much, because he's really just trying to help her, and she feels like if I show any vulnerability, I might give him the wrong ideas or something like that. But you know, like him, I'm just trying to help you, for goodness sake.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you feel for Jingshi.
Yes, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's a good recommendation. Easy to start. There's romance, there's intrigue, there's history, good animation,
Okay, and most importantly, it is well paced.
and it's on Netflix.
You will not.
Season 2
You
is
should
out.
not feel lost at any point. Oh yeah, season 2's out.
Yes.
Although, okay, season 1
Actually,
has
we are not
24
sponsored.
episodes. Season
sponsored
2 is
yet.
not on Netflix yet in Singapore.
It is.
Huh?
Season 2 is out.
No, but not on Netflix in Singapore. I
I thought
think.
I saw it on yesterday when I saw it.
Oh, finally?
new
I think by the
episode.
time we release this episode, it'll probably be out.
yes.
Okay,
Probably
Maybe
fair
early
enough, fair
season.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my one recommendation.
Okay.
If I could, I would recommend Spy X Family. I know it should have the same qualities as Apothecary Diaries because it did capture the mainstream attention for 1 year plus.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
yeah, 2 seasons, but I have not watched it yet.
I would recommend. I think that is a very, very good show. Spy X Family, good for beginners. That has nothing to do with anime. Just come in, just watch Spy X Family.
And you can watch it with your kids as well.
Oh, that's
Correct.
true. Yeah.
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 Okay, and that concludes. Yeah, but because we're all nerds and because we all have our own opinions,
Right.
here comes our second section. The same thing, we're going to recommend anime but disregard all of the rules I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just checking, do you guys have any anime that you would love to recommend?
Any anime I would love to recommend.
At the top of your soul, at the top of your head. Well,
Because I like to see people suffer, like cry. So that's why always I will recommend, like, Your Lie in April and Our Hana.
What a
So they
good
will
start.
cry, like,
Basically, just
especially.
want people to cry.
Yeah.
He says all this casually while smiling on like
I love to see
live
people
on camera.
suffer.
There's people, my friends cry buckets, like they just like, my friend just told me, like, why are you recommending me such like sad animes? It's so sad to the point that he had to take like, one box of tissue paper and just keep on crying because it's so sad. Yeah, it's so moving. So, but yeah, that's the one that I'll recommend for viewers. I like to see them cry. Yeah,
the people in the anime or the viewers cry?
the viewers cry.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will
Had
haunt
to
them for the
clarify.
rest of their lives.
But actually, sometimes we just need an emotional outlet. Yeah, because maybe sometimes we're very pent up, we have a lot of emotions, but we feel that we cannot, as adults, it's harder and harder to cry,
Right.
or we're not supposed to cry. Then when you watch a moving anime like that really touches you, you just find, it's an excuse for me to just let it all out,
I mean, there's a lot of animes, yeah. But if I were to recommend one, I think I'll probably recommend Oregairu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oregairu is very good. I mean, I was in I think the main character speaks up to me the most.
Right.
But I think could be a bit of like, Okay, I don't say that the guy is a male incel, but he does have his
Male what?
incel.
What's that?
Incel, you know what that is? It's like
Like-
like a guy that believes that girls don't like him and he's angry about that.
And it's not-
Okay.
it's not like,
Somebody who feels entitled.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not like he's an incel of sorts, although he does portray, but he's just like, misunderstood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his life story, it's like, oh, there's certain things that makes him to be that way also. Yeah, so but also at the same time, I also was in that phase also. So it's like, the guy speaks to me so much.
Okay, what's this anime about?
Basically about this guy, he is a loner. No one
Alright.
likes him. He's just like in a background character. He can just go in and go out anytime he wants, and you will not even know that he's there in the first place. Yeah, and then he is actually very philosophical. Actually, you think about it, he's actually quite clever by himself.
okay.
Yeah. Then after that, the teacher at the end of the day, the teacher noticed this and like, okay, he asked him to actually to create some form of like morality in him. He asked him to join a club with this girl who is also problematic by her own self also. Yeah. Also like sort of like a female incel. So both of them is just like figuring things out together also at the same time with the introduction of a new third character which forms a love triangle between them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Greatest team up, male and female.
Correct.
Itself. Wow.
But however, you are always rooting for you know which to root for. Yes. So there's always the battle. The waifu thing, like which one is a better girl? Yes. But I think that guy the anime is actually pretty decent. Yeah, ran for 3 seasons, and I think it's a very good anime to watch. Yeah, I mean I loved it, so that's why I would say I would recommend it.
What's the hook of the show? Like, is this like more focused towards comedy, or romance, or philosophy?
Philosophical, yes. So there's a lot of philosophy inside it in a way.
Is it more like a debate where they're challenging each other's philosophies?
In a way, it does. Yeah, there are certain situations that challenges the main protagonist's philosophy also. Yeah, so the main character is broken by himself. So there's a lot of scenes where he challenges.
Okay,
Yes. So that's why I love it. Yeah. Although it's not as good as the others, but I think I generally collect figurines of the characters also. So it's
Yeah, when you like anime enough, you will want to buy the figurines.
yeah, correct.
Would you consider cosplaying any of your
Nope.
favorite characters?
Nope.
No.
Yes.
That's a very quick no. Very
You were trying to
disappointing.
recruit, is it?
Even if I'm gonna do it, I am gonna do it with a helmet. Like my face will not be seen. Yeah. So I will go in and out so fast. Everyone notice me.
Well, I guess another wacky anime I would recommend is what's it called? It's called Bang Bang Raven. It's this it starts off as a very typical sci-fi anime where all of a sudden like this military comes under attack by these like unstoppable aliens, then everyone's getting blown up. Then all of a sudden this giant robot just flies out of nowhere, then lands, and then he just starts beating up everybody. And while he's doing it, he's singing his own theme song. And then whole plot is so whack. So it's quite funny. It's like you don't know what's going on, you never know what to expect.
Okay, so is this an anime which is not taking itself too seriously?
Yeah, it's not taking itself too seriously.
Okay, that sounds like a good
It,
time.
it comes off as a serious anime at the start, and then it completely subverts those expectations. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Nice.
Okay, we're beginning to see the kind of taste that they like.
Yeah, you can
he's
see
very
like he's
emotional.
very emotional. No, yeah, I like emotional anime too.
No, but
Okay,
you like out of whack.
I was
we had a whole
Comedic,
Studio Ghibli
comedic.
episode.
yeah, I was thinking you were gonna say like Evangelion or something like that.
I want to recommend
yeah, I thought
Evangelion.
Gundam or something.
I mean, I feel like those are like quite because like these are for beginners still. Like it's quite heavy.
Oh,
So
it's beginners but no filters.
yeah, I can understand like okay, maybe for some people it might be quite tough to process all those serious emotions at once. So I don't mind going for lighthearted start because eventually, once you start watching anime, you're gonna
Find your own.
You're gonna find your own genre. You're gonna hit on some of those heavy titles. So also growing up, I've also watched a lot of heavy titles, very tough watches. It almost brings me to tears. Like Violet Evergarden. Oh, that one I cry every episode.
Now that you tell me, I remember one anime that I would recommend for new view. Like if let's say all filters is gone, right? I would say that one anime I would recommend which is Scum's Wish.
Oh, what?
Say that again.
Scum's Wish.
Scum's fish.
Yeah, Scum. SCUM.
Fish or
Wish,
wish?
wish.
Oh,
Wish.
wish.
Oh,
Scum's
Scum
wish. All right.
That is pretty good, I think, in my own opinion, because I think the fact that I think it balances off it's a very a very sexualized anime, but however I think that it is done very nicely. in a way is that it in a way that justify the actions of the characters itself. At the same time, portrays certain nudities also.
It's about the girl who's trying to find love in all the
Yeah, the
wrong
girl
places,
likes
right?
the girl likes the. I think it's the teacher, if I'm not wrong.
Ooh,
Like this guy.
Spicy.
Then after that, the guy that's actually with him also likes the other, the female teacher. But then it's like both teachers are dating together.
Oh, what?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or something very similar.
That's crazy, man.
So
After
this
that,
is a love
they kind
triangle,
of like
alright.
step that those two, because they it's impossible for them to get together anyway. So they kind of like decide, hey, let's just
Okay.
like sleep together. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I watched
Yeah.
that one before. It's a bit like, I don't know.
No, but I think this one, the premise being a bit weird, but I think that it balances off the entire like how to say, the human kind of like like psychic very well, and it also explains a lot about love, sex, and also at the same time. Because end of the day, I feel that when it comes to this kind of nudity and porn is like porn and art film, right? There's a really freaking fine line between it. It's either right you can go in that fine line where it's just outright porn, or it just outright like what absolute cinema. Yes.
Okay, can I say they are consciously exploring
Yes.
what it's like to be in a relationship,
Personally, what it's like to be a relationship, and what
and they
it likes.
also explore the sexualized part because it is important. It is,
Correct.
after all, part of a relationship.
Correct.
Okay.
Which I think it's very good in terms of like if let's say you're unhinged, right? I think that's a very good unhinged anime. Yeah, like I think it makes sense also, like in terms of like exploring what the themes of love, because love is very like superficial. Like, you like girl like boy, guy like girl, but then however they don't have sex. Yeah, but then this one is like they explore a bit more where they both just have
So,
people.
like,
If
more
you're
the technicalities, the more
Yes,
like,
correct.
nuances. And
Yeah.
everything.
and it's not porn, so it's good. Yeah.
Agree, it's not porn, yes.
Yes, it's not.
What
Another
recommendation?
catchphrase
And
of ours.
it's on Netflix also, right? If I'm not wrong.
It was for a while.
Yeah,
Then,
I remember watching it.
Correct. It's really good. Yes. You watch it, you probably will think about it also. Cause end of the day, I think you are trying, like, both broken souls trying to heal each other out in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, is this another tearjerker?
No, it's not a tearjerker. Yes, but they end up pretty nicely also. Both of them got together in the end. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
You just spoiled it, but alright.
But it's I mean, it's not really of a spoiler itself, because this kind of thing you know they're gonna end up together. But how they end up together is whether or not you know how they
The
end up
journey.
together.
Okay,
Of the
fair
journey.
enough, fair enough.
Correct.
It's the journey that's important.
Yes, correct. Yes.
It's the
It's not the
friends made
answer,
along
it's
the
the
way.
journey. Yes.
Okay, so as Lena said, we know their taste, but we also know yours.
Okay, because I've actually given all my recommendations with regards to romance, but I would think for something that would be a bit more unfiltered, but was one of my very first few anime that I watched, is actually Death Note. Yeah, and I thought it was quite a classic, and I'm quite surprised nobody brought it up. I watched, and it's still on Netflix, yeah. I watched Death Note as one of my very first few animation recommendations, and is that romance? Is that romance? Warped version of romance in it. Yeah, but I watched
Somebody was in love.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, but I watched it because I love the character of Light Yagami. He's just so diabolical. Yeah, it's very hard to explain this character, but it's
I think can explain how he's like Homelander.
He's like quite
Actually not.
no,
Sorry,
but
it's
he
not.
started with all the right intentions, but how it became so dark and warped and everything along the way.
It's like a very gripping story, I
Yeah,
guess.
very gripping, and you just, even though you know that he should be stopped at some point of time, you just want to keep rooting for him and just hope that he doesn't get caught and that there will be a, I don't know, good ending for him. But obviously, yeah. So
Okay, so we are talking about an anime where the protagonist started off as a proper hero, but along the journey, he got twisted somehow. But everybody likes him so much that we're all rooting for him to succeed.
yes,
Okay.
which is the. Have you watched it before?
Yes.
Yeah. So you understand.
Yes, but we must explain to the viewers.
Oh yes. That's the story summary, and along the way there is another character that gets introduced, L, and he's like your good.
Actually, if I remember correctly, L is not part of the novel. Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah, part of the original story, I think didn't. If I remember correctly, didn't include L. I might be wrong. I mean, I might be wrong.
Are you talking about manga or light novel?
wise. I think
Oh,
okay.
but that's a totally diversion. L was a huge part.
L was later added on inside. So I think end of the day, the police discovered who Light was. Yeah, instead of L discovering who Light was.
No, L never discovered him.
Yeah,
It's close.
that's close.
I mean,
yeah.
close enough, but
Close.
no cigar. Yes.
Watch that.
I might be
film,
wrong
watch that
because I based on my memory, I remember that Light. There was no L.
Spoilers.
Yes, there
Spoilers.
wasn't any
Spoilers.
L.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a very interesting premise. The whole story that you can decide who lives or who dies depending on what you write in a book. I mean, it's like, where on earth did these people come up with this story plot to begin with? And once you give a person who is a very smart individual the authority to do that, then what does he do with it? And then you realize that absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Even the best people.
Even the past people. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not a show. I mean, it's a good way to get into anime if you really want to explore how deep anime can go. Yeah, but it's also one of those shows that you really come out with questioning humanity, I think. Because you will ask yourself, why would I support this guy, but yet you support him, and then you just wonder like, oh, have I
Okay,
gone
that
on
sounds
to the
like quite a
dark side?
hook for watching this show.
Yeah, but it is it got me in lah. It's 36 episodes, by the way, so you need to be in for the ride.
It's pretty good, I think. Like, I think if you live long enough, you realize that some certain actions has to be done. Yeah. So I think, I would totally recommend it also at the same time. Yeah. I mean, it's not the story is great. I think it's like everlasting also. I think next 10, 20 or 100 years later, right, the story will still be relevant, I would feel. Yeah. Because you will always be asking yourself like due to the system like that we're having, let's say there's someone that is out of the system, what good or what bad can it do? Yeah. So it's an everlasting message.
Okay. Alright, the anime I would recommend. I felt like if I have more time, I would have a lot more. But the one anime that appears at the top of my head is Drifters.
Oh, Drifters.
Okay, the reason why I wouldn't recommend Drifters to part of the rules I established is because the Drifters anime itself is, I think it's a specific genre. It is like,
I think it's more on the action side.
okay, firstly I would like to explain what
okay.
Isekai is. I think we should start off there.
Okay.
So Isekai is a genre of anime where the protagonist, a modern day protagonist usually, specialized in a certain talent, is transported to another world, either by reincarnation or by
Truck consumer.
being smashed by a truck for some reason. Drifters is one of those animes, but it's also a subversion of it.
In a way, yeah. It's
Yeah. Okay, so Drifters is I keep saying it's an anime a lot. It's an anime where many different, I'll say talented, prominent, historical figures have been plucked from different, based on real history by the way, have been plucked off from different points of history, not knowing why, and thrown into a fantasy world.
That's right.
And all of these people are usually conquerors. And now they have to, well, I guess conquer, because that's what they do. And they have to also challenge each other. Many of these drifters, general soldiers, they're generally generals and soldiers.
Yeah, Hitler's in it.
Oh yes, for some reason Hitler was reincarnated into this world.
He is a conqueror after all.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And it's very interesting to watch all these characters. Okay, the funny thing is, usually in isekai animes, the people who get reincarnated into this anime knows what's happening. Like, oh wow, I got reincarnated into this real world. And luckily, I know science, which is why I can rule over everyone else like that. But this anime kind of turns upside down. Everybody's constantly asking what the fuck is going on. Because all these historical figures, they never watch anime. So what the hell in this weird world? They all assume that all these elves? What the hell is an elf? Why the hell is their ear so long? It takes them some time to regroup themselves. And it's like, okay, New lands to conquer. Natural thought for somebody who is from ancient times. And this is why I found it very interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I thought that truck could make an appearance. Like
Yeah.
before that, like boom, then
Is this a new anime or what?
it's-
I've never heard of it before.
Not. Oh yeah. For some. This is. It came out about I think 5 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been quite a while since.
This is an action anime and both a war anime at the same time.
I think it's quite interesting premise. Okay, I'm
It
a
is.
thing for history. As
We
well.
have
Yeah.
we have ancient Romans, Carthaginians, Japanese.
So there's
What else did I
Roman-
miss?
Chinese.
Americans.
Yeah, that's right.
They even have Billy the Kid for some reason,
Yes.
who is an outlaw
why is
from
Billy the kid inside?
who is
He's a
an
famous
Conqueror?
person, yeah.
who is an outlaw from what do you call it, the cowboy days. Yeah.
Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West.
And it's also pretty interesting to watch all the characters interact with each other because in ancient time, everybody is like, my country's better than yours. So it's kind of funny to see all these characters interact with you. Like, Rome's the best. Why aren't you listening to what I say?
Wow, this one
No,
is
Japan.
very similar to
Yeah.
Record of Ragnarok.
Yeah, I was going to think of
Yes,
that
it
as
is.
well.
It's
Yeah.
like Ragnarok, but it's like I think it's like a bit more intense than Ragnarok.
Okay,
Okay.
the action I feel is quite well drawn, but it is quite gory. So there is a gory warning for this.
Oh, okay. Which is why it would have been have been filtered out lah, based on your earlier criteria.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do they like group together or do they end up fighting against each other?
Yeah, they group together.
both.
Both.
I mean, they did form alliances, but
Yeah.
once in a while they do hate each other. But mostly they cooperate.
Because there's like a
Okay, it turns out
enemy that's bigger than them.
there is an enemy in this world. There is okay, so most of the time these characters don't know what the hell is happening, but they do have some references. They do find out who they are. The people who are reincarnated in this world to conquer it are called drifters. But at the same time, there are people who are reincarnated in this world who are called enders. Drifters aims to improve and conquer the world. By the way, the definition of improve is quite loose in this world. Okay, and the enders, they really do want to put an end to the world.
Yeah.
It's not established why yet, but the main goal is to really kill everyone.
Oh.
So the drifters, their aim is to defeat the enders,
Okay.
but not for the best reasons, because they want to conquer the world, and they need a world to conquer. They need a world to conquer. So they are the gooder guys.
Right.
The good.
Okay, interesting part. No, I should have mentioned it as a spoiler. Yes. So this
Sounds
is
like
why I
an
would
anime
recommend
I
this
would watch
anime.
Yeah, it sounds like anime I
Yeah,
watch.
correct,
Yeah.
Love history,
It's
so
good.
like I want
I
to see.
recommend.
You've watched it as well?
I read the manga too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would love to see how Qin Shi Huang and Hitler's gonna communicate. One is like Qin Shi Huang. Oh, sorry. That's like that. That's
You'll find out. You'll find out.
yes.
We'll
this
find
is,
out.
This is not gonna get. This is gonna get demonetized so fast.
I'm
Wait,
not
wait,
gonna
it-
mention who, but there will be a lot of historical figures from these parts clashing with each other.
Oh.
Oh, we will have some famous Russians.
We will need to
It's
cut out
on,
the
it's on Netflix.
It was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it is at
I
this
don't think
point.
it's on Netflix now.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we're going to find it then.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all our, I'll say off the rails recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've come to the end of the episode, and I think just like any good teachers, we'll end the question by starting another question. Yeah, don't you hate it when your teachers do that? When
That's true.
when you ask the teachers
go home
like,
and take a think about it, right?
when you ask the teachers like, how do I approach a question, and then they're like, what do you think? I was like, that's why I asked you. But anyway, that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, so the question is, could you share with me the times when you have managed to convert
Oh,
one of your friends from somebody who doesn't know anime a lot, but into somebody who's really binges it a lot? If you guys have any stories.
But like I said, I shared mine already. I just now just buckets and buckets of tissues. You just watch, but not like I completely converted them into full-time anime watchers. But you kind of change their perception of anime itself. Like anime is just more than what it seems like on the outside. It's actually way more than that. Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of happy making them cry. Then after that, like, making them like, why you introduced me to such a sad anime? Every April I'll be traumatized. Yeah.
Oh, but then you keep doing it, right? So you succeeded.
Yes, I succeeded.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Success story right here.
So it's like, every April I will just make fun and say, happy April's Fool. Yeah.
Then you show the GIF.
Yes. I will just show the GIF of Kaori over there. That's why you make me remember of her. Yes.
Should we have an event at Daijo Boom where we celebrate April the 1st crying?
Sure. Sounds like a good event. We will just comment. We will just do it.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's literally your lie in April, right?
Yes.
April Fools.
Yes.
I don't know. I never really convert anyone. I mean, like, I'm not that serious of a watcher. Like, I
That's
like
too
to call
bad.
out filthy casual. Like, if you like it, I mean, if people want recommendations to watch, I'll just give them recommendations. Then just leave it up to them if they want to watch it or not.
Ah.
It's all chill. Right? I'm a chill guy.
Okay, how about you, Kate? How about you, Lena?
I don't think I've converted anybody yet or will, but one of the things that I enjoy doing is telling people about anime recommendations that are less common. Yeah, because I mean, when you talk to a friend who watches anime as well, and they're asking you for, hey, give me your anime recommendations, then it will be like the typical ones would be like Demon Slayer, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I usually will like to say other titles that never cross their mind, and then one of them I have done is Tokyo Revengers, and Tokyo Revengers is one of my personal success story because I have told at least 4 different people to watch Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, what show is this about? Then the animation doesn't look very good and stuff like that. But I said, I will tell them, watch it, you won't regret it. And all 4 of them came back and said, best anime I've watched this season.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Actually, Tokyo Revengers is a very, very good recommendation.
yeah,
Yes.
very it's underrated.
What is it about?
What is it about? It's about time traveling, about juvenile delinquents in the past, and how this guy who is no longer, I mean, he's grown out of it, but somehow for whatever reason he's given a second chance to go back in time to change certain things that happen,
Oh.
and the butterfly effect that leads to his present world. And he goes back many times, and he keeps changing and changing and changing the past, so that he hopes that it would become a better version where people don't have to die and he can save his good friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like every time he goes back and change, things just get worse. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good watch. It's very fun, right?
Okay,
And
that
it's
sounds
very
quite cool.
emotional as well.
There was
I cried.
Train Kun.
I cried as well.
Okay, so is this an action anime?
It's well, if you call boxing and brawling fighting, then
beating
yes.
the shit out of each other.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there is no superpowers, okay?
Gangsters
Nobody has
lor.
superpowers.
Okay, so this is a gangster delinquency.
Yes.
Yes.
Different schools combat different schools.
Correct.
Okay.
Different gangs. Different
Gay gangs are giving gangs.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a story about brotherhood and friendship as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Butterfly effect, I think mostly, because I think whatever action he takes, he changes the course of history.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
It makes you very interested to know that, okay, now that he's done this, what's going to happen in the present now? Then he goes back to the present, and then you realize, like, oh no, he didn't solve anything. Never mind. Spoilers.
Okay, so I too don't really have a story.
Oh,
I mean, I did accidentally convert my sister into watching anime, which was weird because it wasn't my intention.
okay.
Why do you recommend her in the first place?
Okay, this was a period of time when I started treating Netflix seriously as an anime source of anime. And honestly, my sister binges Netflix a lot, and she really just ran out of things to watch. So I was like, "You tried watching anime?" At that point, she haven't started watching yet. Then she said, no, it's not really my thing." Then I just asked her, "Oh, just give it a shot." Okay, right now there's this thing called My Hero Academia, which is popular.
Okay.
Just give it a shot. And she binged the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And that was
That's
her
6
gateway
seasons.
into stuff.
Then she
Yeah,
watched
I think
she
that's
started watch
Whoa.
more and more, right?
Yeah.
I think she had watched.
I think she's
Your Lie in
watching
April
Demon.
also.
I think she also watched Demon Slayer at this point.
Okay.
I mean, I would be surprised if someone haven't watched Demon Slayer. So, I mean, like,
I think at this period of time,
Or at least
that's
heard of it.
the reason why anime is more popular now is because there's just a lot of people who binges Netflix a lot,
Yeah.
and there's just an anime catalog on Netflix.
Yeah, and
I
after
believe
you
that's the
finish
reason.
watching, like, I've got nothing else to watch, then
It
you're
is
like,
good, more accessible.
yeah. Back to, more accessible.
It's kind of
yes.
embarrassing that they kind of beat the. It's kind of embarrassing for Crunchyroll that Netflix beat them to it.
true. They're the pioneer, but then Netflix saw the problems within Crunchyroll and just like, I'm not gonna do the same problems as you guys did. And then that's why I think it succeeded.
Like the Kodak of anime
Yes.
streamers.
Yeah, Netflix is beating, man. I mean, even Disney Plus is trying to dish out their own anime, but
Not working so
But it's a
well.
bit different the branding, because you always associate Disney with Disney cartoons.
yeah.
Suddenly like a Disney and anime, like the image doesn't
They
seem
tried-
to quite fit.
You tried this anime called with like the Red Ranger, the what?
Red Ranger?
Sentai Daishoku.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh.
It's basically like, you
Like,
know.
it's called the Red
Oh
Ranger
my
from another
god!
world.
I need
No,
to
no,
watch
no,
that.
no, that's not that.
not?
It's like the Ranger team, there's 5, but then all of them are like the Red Ranger is like Homelander basically. Yeah, and then there's this one small little like, you know, grunt that's
I
like, you
know
know,
what you
trying to like, you know, kill all the Rangers. It's like he's so pissed off because every week, right, every Sunday he's getting killed. Yeah, so it's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna defeat this MFs for real. Yeah. So it's about this small little guy's quest to actually like, you know, kill all the Rangers.
And it's a Disney production.
Yes, it's a decent production.
Oh,
Okay. That's intense.
But it's still not, I mean, it's just that one show that Disney Plus have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dark
Okay, so
anime
Disney Plus is still behind. Alright, so that is our conclusion for the show. Thanks for sticking with us. And maybe next time we'll expand into the specific genres of anime.
Yes.
Okay.